Hi, my name is Siri Summers, and the technique that I chose to demonstrate is called the cognitive triangle technique. The cognitive triangle technique is a technique that is used by therapists as an intervention in trauma focused cognitive behavior therapy. This type of therapy is primarily used with children who have experienced some type of traumatic event. And what this technique does is teach them healthy cognitive coping skills. So the goal of the therapist is to teach the children to understand the relationship or the connection between their thoughts, their feelings, and their behavior. The way that this technique is learned is first by the therapist actually having a conversation with the client and then demonstrating the technique by giving them a scenario of an event, then talking about thoughts that could come from that scenario, going into feelings that could come from that scenario, and then going to behavior. The first thought, feelings, and behavior that the therapist shows is a negative thought. The second thought that the therapist shows as to a alternative of thinking negative is positive one. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. Okay. This technique can be used as a floor game, and the kids can hop to it, skip to it, run, jump, do something like that. So it's basically laid out in a wide triangle, and at the top you will put your thoughts, then you will go to their emotions, and then their feelings. So basically, the thoughts is what we think that affects how we feel and how we act, and then you have your emotion is how we feel that affects what we think and do. And then you have behavior. Behavior is what we do that affects how we think and we feel. So the scenario here is you see a spider. And what you want to do is, what is going through your mind that's negative when you first see a spider? So you could think about that. So one of the things that could be going through a person's mind when they think about a spider is, it's creepy and it's going to crawl on me. That's the thought from when you're seeing a spider that is very negative. When you're looking at the emotions or the feeling that comes along with this thought, you're looking at, I'm scared, I'm panicking, I could be having an anxiety type, I'm nervous. These are feelings that comes from me seeing a creepy spider that I think is going to crawl on me. And the behavior that would come along with these types of feelings that are negative would be I scream, I want to run, I freeze up, or I jump. Okay? So, as you can see from this here event, a thought that could be negative is it's a creepy spider and it wants to crawl on me. And the emotional feeling that comes along with thinking that it's a creepy spider and they want to crawl on me, of course, I'm scared and I'm panicking and I could freeze or I'm feeling nervous. And if you have any of these negative feelings, of course, you're going to want to scream or you want to run or you just freeze up or you want to jump. So what you want to do is teach the child another way of looking at this same scenario, but in a more positive way. And a positive way that the child could look at this through the process of thought is, oh, it's only a tiny spider. I'm bigger than it. It's not going to bother me. That's a positive feeling. And a positive emotion that would come along with that is, I'm feeling calm. I feel like I'm safe. I feel good. I'm relaxed. And the behavior that would come along with that is, I'm going to sit down, or I'm going to walk past that little spider, or I'm going to keep moving. Whatever I was doing, oh, it's a spider, I'm going to keep doing it. So, as you can see, the same scenario of you see a spider can go from negative thoughts, it's a creepy spider, it's going to crawl on me, to positive thought. It's only a tiny spider. I'm bigger than it. It's not going to bother me. And it can go from negative feelings of being scared, panicking, freezing up, feeling nervous, to positive thoughts of feeling good, calm, safe, relaxed, which can go from negative behaviors of screaming, running, freezing up, or jumping to positive behaviors of sitting down, walking past the spider, or just keep on moving. So as you can see, the cognitive triangle helps the client to see their thoughts and how their thoughts affect how they feel. That affects their behavior in both positive and negative words. And the goal is to change their negative perception to a positive reception. So what they see here doesn't always have to be something bad to them, which usually come across to most children or adults who have been traumatized. They see a world in a different light. Okay? And so this technique is not only used in therapy with the child, but it's also used with the parents. Because what you want to do is have the parents be able to go home when the child is not in therapy to be able to ask them these questions when the child is telling them something that happened and they begin to talk negative. You want the parent to be able to say to the child, well, what is something positive that you could think about from this event that happened that may have been a negative thought in the beginning for them. You can reinforce this in a couple of ways, not only with the parents, but you can also reinforce it in homework. And these are just some little homework sheets that you can give to the client or the child to take home, and you want them to write down what happened. Then how did that make you feel? What was you thinking? What were you doing? So you go from something that happened, my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior. All of these sheets are just some, and then these just ask a couple of questions. And another neat way that you can also do this is I found an app that is used also to reinforce the use of cognitive triangle called the Triangle of Life. And this could be downloaded for free onto the iPad, your tablet, your smartphones. And it is a app that was created by therapists who use trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy as an intervention to work with children. And what it does is you actually have the lion who is going through the jungle and talking with each animal about how they feel. And they feel one animal, to start off with, is the monkey, and he's feeling upset because Owl ignored him when he saw him, and he didn't say anything to him. And so the lion goes, I don't think Owl would ignore you. Let me go talk to him and see. Maybe he really didn't see you and you thought you did. And the monkey goes, well, maybe he did. And that's another way of looking at it. Well, okay, would you see what's going on? So he goes to see the owl. And then the owl says to him, I didn't even see monkey. I was too busy thinking about bear who shook the tree for an apple and woke me up. And so it's trying to show how just because something happened doesn't necessarily mean it was negative and that it was towards you to hurt you. So this is a really good app. I actually went through the actual app and played the game, and it was really interesting. And this is also something that you can also teach to children who have not experienced trauma. And the goal of this is to give them the connection, again, between their thoughts, their feelings, and their action. It's a good life lesson for them as well. So, again, my technique is the cognitive triangle that is used with trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. I chose this because I actually chose working with youth who have experienced school violence or community violence. And sometimes that is ongoing, and it can affect our children in all kinds of ways. And this is one way for them to get in touch with their emotions and behavior and understand the connection, like I said, not only for the children, but also for the parents who are going to have to work with these children outside of therapy. I hope that this helped you guys out. I stepped outside of the norm of the guided imaginary or the meditation, because some of those techniques are harder for children to grasp from my readings. And this is one of the go-tos that, as like the trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, is a first go-to for children who has been traumatized. Okay, so thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.